Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Quarantine Chose Me. Day 5 begins, and it's funny actually. It was really like foggy and overcast this morning. Sydney, I guess, is having some cold weather. It was a high temperature of 8 degrees yesterday Celsius, which for Sydney, I think is about as cold as it ever gets. This is like difficult for Australians to tolerate, trust me. Coming from Canada, it's always funny. But I just heard the telltale knock on my door. Breakfast is here. And so today I'm going to show you guys and talk all about the food options that I get while I'm here in quarantine. So food is delivered to my door 3 times a day. And it's made by an external company, a contractor who's doing all of the food for the stay in the hotel here. And I actually just go and get the menu to give you an idea of what it's like. And it was really good. When I first got here, there's a QR code and I can log in and set my meal preferences. So I could choose vegetarian, vegan, nut allergy. You could choose halal. You could, sort of even go down to like the comment section and add remarks about what you do or don't want. And that's where I put in that I wanted double portion sizes, and they've actually been doing that for me, which is great. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm very food motivated. I love to eat food and I eat a lot of food. I guess I have a high metabolism. I don't really know. But Australia is Australia, and I don't live here anymore. I haven't lived here for 15 years. So every time I come back to visit family, I kind of get these funny, shocking moments where I'm like, is that actually real? Or like, is Steve Irwin playing a prank on me? Is this a big joke? And so I've got the food menu here, and it's, per day broken down, breakfast, lunch, vegetarian, non-vegetarian option. And it went back in time a little bit before I checked in. So I got here on, I think it was a Saturday, I can't remember, but the menu goes back to Thursday. So the very first thing on the menu, I'll read this to you. No word of a lie, I'm not making this up. And this is one of the first things I read when I got into the hotel room. So this was like a disorientating moment. I don't know if Steve Irwin's playing a joke on me. For dinner on Thursday night, the main course is steamed Humpty Doo barramundi with ancient grains, broccoli and herbs. Humpty Doo barramundi. What is that? That's not even a word. That's a nursery rhyme. Humpty Dumpty, like fell on the wall or whatever he did. How can you serve someone Humpty Doo barramundi? How do you say that with a straight face and not think that Australians are pretty strange creatures? I don't know how that works. So unfortunately, I don't get to have, well, maybe it'll come around on the rotation for next week. I don't know. But I'll be pretty excited to find out what Humpty Doo barramundi is. I mean, obviously barramundi is a fish from Northern Australia. Maybe I'll catch one actually on this trip. But what is Humpty Doo? I can't understand how you can like write that on a formal, menu laid out. This is quite serious. Australians sometimes, they make me shake my head. I always laugh when I'm back here. Funny things like that happen. But let's go and collect breakfast and I'll show you what it's like. This is one of the few times, or really the only time, that I'm allowed to open my door. So my door isn't actually locked right now. I could, in theory, walk out if I wanted to. Though I did read in the literature, it said that is a $12,000 fine or 6 months in jail. So I probably am not going to walk out, even though I could in theory. When I'm going outside, I have to mask up when I open the door. That's a requirement. Obviously, they don't want me to spread COVID, to anyone who's in the corridor or any of the neighbouring guests. So I'll put my mask on, I'll open the door, and let's have a little bit of a look around. This is one of the few times I get to see the outside world. Kind of a highlight of my days. And I always look through the peephole. If you look at the very bottom of the screen now, you can just see there's a little table there and there's a brown paper bag on it right now. That is my breakfast. And if I look around here, I can usually see a security guard, whoever else is in the corridor. Let's have a look. There's my table, there's my breakfast. Let's have a quick look around. Here, I guess, is the hotel. There's a security guard down the end there. Ooh. The security guard actually looked up at me then. I guess he heard my voice. So, I better run back inside before I make him angry. This is all pretty serious business. But anyway, breakfast is here, one of the highlights of my day. So let's have a look. I'll run you through what I've got for breakfast. I'll show you what the options are, and let's see how delicious it can be. Oops, sorry about that. And you can tell the brown paper bag here makes a lot of noise. So whenever I hear that noise out in the corridor, I pretty much scamper over to the door and stare at my peephole in the hopes that food is arriving. Sometimes though I can hear it and it's like on a different floor of the hotel. So then I get disappointed and I have to come back to my desk. So for breakfast, 2 hard-boiled eggs. Pretty good, I love protein. Something I've never seen before. Oh, like a little pastry thing with raisins and kind of glazing on it. Looks really nice. We've got a little fruit salad. I get one of these often for breakfast. So there are strawberries, grapes, watermelon, pineapple, and what's that green one? It looks like watermelon. I think in Australia we call it cantaloupe. I think in North America you guys call it, do you call it a dew melon? Dew melon? Some of these words I'm going to get horribly confused over the next year whether I'm saying the Australian word or the North American word because I can't remember which is which anymore. Oh yeah, and then I've got some yogurt here, so Greek blueberry yogurt, always good. And actually they've given me 2 of them, and that might be because of my request for double portion sizes. That one is strawberry. What else do we have? Ooh, I got 2 of those delicious pastry things. Again, this will be my double portion size request, so certainly no complaints from me. Also, I get some cereal pretty much every day. This is Kellogg's. Are they Australian? I can't remember. But, you know, kind of like granola. They gave me some milk on the first day, so a little bowl. So I have cereal most days along with all this other stuff. Oh, yeah. And always funny, for breakfast you get given 1 tea bag, which as an Australian, British heritage, we drink a lot of black tea. And I've got to say, 1 per day, little light on the tea for me. Oh yeah, I get a sugar packet for my tea. And this brand, Bundaberg, this is really famous Australian brand. Everyone knows it. It's funny to see. And then my favorite that I get for breakfast every day, this is instant coffee. And so I don't know why. Australia has like a really thriving coffee culture. So lots of people drink cappuccinos, lattes, and like it's a big deal. You know, you go and get your coffee before work. But for some reason, Australia also has a culture of drinking instant coffee. And I don't even know what this stuff is made out of. I feel like this is like chemical mastermind gone wrong. Although it does say 100% natural coffee beans. But I mean, you put this in your cup and it dissolves and then you drink it all and it tastes somewhere between tar and like chemicals. Personally, I find this stuff disgusting. I can't imagine how anyone drinks it. But funny story about instant coffee. Years and years ago, actually, my mum and dad moved from their small town in Australia, little town of 400 people where I grew up. They actually moved to New York City and they got an apartment on the Upper West Side and they lived there for 4 years. They went to work, they were consultants. And so for 4 years, you know, they lived the New York life and, you know, talk about a fish out of water story going from small town Australia to New York City. But anyway, for the entire 4 years they were there, I went and visited them. They drank instant coffee, living on the Upper West Side of Manhattan in New York City. And I always joke around and I say, it's probably a good thing that nobody knew you were drinking instant coffee, because I think New Yorkers would take offense to that and you might have gotten in trouble if anyone actually knew you were drinking instant coffee every day. I don't know why, but they seem to like this stuff. Even when I go home, you know, I haven't been back here for a couple of years now, but, you know, Dad's like, oh, do you want a coffee? He makes an instant coffee. I'm like, what are you doing? You can't do that. So this is not something that I've been eating every day. I'll stick to my tea bag. But overall, like you can see, I asked for double portions, so I get plenty of quantity. But more importantly than that, I think is like plenty of variety. You know, there's protein, there's yogurt, there's the fruit, there's the little pastry thing. There's also cereal, which of course you could eat later, you know, save it for later in the day. So all in all, like I've been really happy with breakfast. It's quite, you know, a lot of food and good variety. So I'm going to get tucked into this and I'll come back and show you what lunch looks like. All right, lunch has finally arrived, and I'm not going to say this is the highlight of my day, but it might be close to one of the highlights of my day. So we'll have a look what I got in a minute. But I forgot to mention this morning too, I get these 3 meals delivered every day, but if I want, I can totally order anything else I want. So the hotel has its own restaurant where you can order meals. Obviously you have to pay for them, but you know, drinks and anything else you want. I can also get deliveries from places like Uber Eats. I'm only allowed to get 1 a day. I think they're just doing that so that the hotel staff don't get overwhelmed, you know, with people ordering stuff. But obviously too, I can get care packages from friends and family. Like, you know, I got the didgeridoo, I bought that off the buy and sell, and I've got some other things incoming. And then finally too, you can also buy stuff online from the grocery stores here in Australia. So Woolworths, I guess it's the same thing as Safeway. And especially now because of COVID, you know, they do home delivery just like you used to. And so I can buy anything I want from the grocery store and have it delivered here directly to my room. And I resisted for the first few days, but I did actually just put in an order, some Australian comfort foods that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully they'll be here by about halfway mark. And hopefully that should perk me up a little bit. And I'll show you guys when they get here, things that I fondly remember from my childhood really enjoying. But let's have a look. What did I get for lunch? I've got beef pho, fresh ingredient noodle soup with simple instructions. It says just add hot water. I haven't actually seen one of these before. Some assembly required. Wow, this is like keeping me entertained. Wow, suddenly I'm all excited. Whoa, I got 2 of them. Dude, they're hooking me up with my asking for double portions. This one's chicken flavored. So it looks like I just fill 2 centimeters from the top with hot water, then stir thoroughly, then there's a little packet of sauce. This actually looks delicious. I am all about that. I get an orange, always good. Someone suggested I should draw a face on here and start calling it Wilson. I'll have to get a Sharpie so I can do that. And then, looks like we got another quiz or something today. Start to finish brain teasers, directions. For each clue, find a corresponding word that starts or finishes with the same letter. There is 1 word for each letter of the alphabet, except for I, J, Q, U, V, and Z. Spend time in front of the mirror is the sample question. So if you were going to spend time in front of the mirror and there's a word for that that starts and ends with the same letter, the answer is primp. So you primp yourself, starts with a P, ends with a P. Intuitive inkling. That's going to be something like insight, but obviously that doesn't start and end with the same letter. Pioneer in photocopying. So what do you call it, especially in America, when you're photocopying something? They say, go and make me a Xerox, X and X. Bitterly sarcastic. Australians should be good at this one. They really love their sarcasm. Bitterly sarcastic. Oh, an Inuit transportation. That'll be, I can't think of anything other than mucklucks, but that'll be the name of the sled that you pull behind the dog sleds. And my brain has just gone blank right now. I've driven one a couple of times. Do you drive a dog sled? I don't know. But anyway, this has become my life now. You can see I'm fairly entertained by quizzes, by the food, which looks delicious. Makes me wish I had some chopsticks. And I was thinking about it too while I was just sitting here before I turned the camera on. You know, because these are in the paper bags, they make quite a bit of noise. And I realize I'm starting to get trained like one of those little rats in an experiment, you know, where they like tinkle a bell and then the rat comes running for food. I wonder if for the rest of my life, every time I hear a paper bag crinkling, I'm going to be like, oh, food's here. Yeah, it's starting to be like that. So anyway, I'm going to put some hot water, some assembly required, into my meal, which genuinely looks delicious. And I'll tuck into that, and then I'll come back a bit later and I'll show you guys what dinner looks like. So this has been, I'm going to say, not a typical day, but sort of typical in that, you know, breakfast is always something fresh, something different. Lunch has been sort of chicken Caesar wraps or sandwiches or lots of variety and fresh and delicious. I can't imagine how anyone could complain about this food. And again, obviously I have the Meatasaurus option, and there are vegetarian options, there's vegan options, there's halal. I can't even remember, there were so many options on the little thing that you could tick. So I think it would be difficult to complain about this. You know, I do no cooking, and this just gets delivered to my door. So yeah, really happy with the food. I won't be ordering anything from Uber Eats. I don't feel the need to. I already got plenty and delicious. So I'll check back with you guys in a few hours for dinner. All right, everyone, it's just gone 7 o'clock and pretty excited to hear the knock on my door for dinner time. And so I just collected this from outside. Let's have a look at what I got for dinner. I'm gonna guess those are dessert. They always come in small packages. This will be my main course, and it looks like I'm getting double quantity of everything again, which obviously I am stoked about. Oh yeah, another really good salad. Again, like really good, you know, fresh vegetables, and it does come with a little bit of salad dressing. A tiny pack of sea salt, that seems necessary. But let's have a look what we've got here. I didn't really read the menu because I like surprises. Get that out of the way. Let's start with dessert because life is short. Oh, it's not dessert. It's some sort of sauce, I guess. Ooh, smells delicious. Smells like curry paste a little bit. I'm guessing this is the same thing. Yep, it is, because it looks like I've got two main courses here. And let's see what we've got. Oh yeah, it is grilled salmon on rice with veggies. Some peas, some herbs. I'm gonna guess same in this one. Yep, and I'm gonna leave the lid on to keep it hot for me. So I've got two sauces to go on there, which are gonna be delicious. I've got the salad. What do I have here? Oh, okay, so this one's dessert. Oh yeah, and I've had this one before. It's like, what do you call this? A slice, caramel, delicious dessert slice thing. Yeah, so this has been pretty typical of what my meals look like. Obviously rotates, and obviously there'd be a vegetarian option as well, you know, if I didn't want to eat meat. But you can see, again, I'd say like this is very similar to what you would get at a restaurant. I guess it's just a shame it's been in the packet now for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. I don't actually know. But because I'm getting double portions, obviously plenty of quantity. This puts a big smile on my face, means that I'll be happy to do my exercises again in the morning. So yeah, that's what a typical day of meals have been like. So far, everything's been delicious. Everything's been like really high quality, lots of vegetables, lots of fruit. So in general, I'm impressed with the food, I have to say. I think it's great. So I'm gonna sit down and have dinner now, obviously by myself, as I eat every meal. And that's it for dinner. So hope this video has been helpful. I hope it shows you what it's like when you're locked in quarantine. And again, if you've got any questions, you can see I'm replying to tons of questions on YouTube because I'm basically here all day, every day. So if you've got questions or anything else that you'd like to know about, let me know down the bottom, ask a question. And I will do a live question and answer, probably here on YouTube. I'll do it maybe in about 5 more days. I'm just trying to get a whole bunch of stuff organized and together and ready. And then I'll tell you a whole bunch more about my upcoming expedition and, you know, what's going on, how long I'm going to be here, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, look forward to that. In the meantime, I'm excited for dinner. So good night, everyone. See you tomorrow.